All right, Matthew Danes. Welcome to Sports Scholars.
Woo! It's football time!
Football season, baby. First ever Sports Scholars cast going on right now. Doing a little podcast.
This is big, bud. This is big.
I am excited. We actually did this introduction before. It turned into a complete blooper in the sense that we didn't even save the VOD.
Yeah. So
we
50 minutes of wasted time. Well, not wasted time. We shot the shit about sports, but nobody else got to enjoy it the way we did. So
didn't get our special draft picks.
Yeah. So anyways, welcome to Sports Scholars. Matt and Safi here.
Yes. We have to get into a little bit about ourselves. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So we're very excited to start this podcast. Safi and I, we go way back with sports, fantasy. We've been in multiple leagues together for fantasy. Been playing fantasy for a long time. We've won multiple championships between us in multiple sports: baseball, basketball, hockey.
Yeah, so we're going to be focusing on the American majors here, guys. We're doing baseball. We're talking hockey. We're talking basketball, and we're talking football, of course. Obviously, we're going to be focusing a little bit more on football with the football season rolling around, but we are going to be your specialist when it comes to getting these parlays and these props that people don't otherwise see. Matt has been extremely successful over making some money over the past year. I have been extremely successful over making some money over the past year in terms of kind of making these right bets, these crazy parlays. We're not talking cookie cutter stuff. We're not talking stuff that you're going to be able to find on Google. We're talking custom-made bets for you guys to enjoy.
Absolutely. And to bounce off Safi there, this is mostly a fantasy podcast, but we're going to be incorporating a lot of prop bets. Yeah. We think the prop bets is a good niche right now. We're kind of going away from the game totals and the spreads and the game props and more focusing on player props, which is really exciting aspect of the game because it makes watching the game experience so much better.
And don't get me wrong, if we see a great game prop, we're going to jump on that too.
Yeah, punt return under all the way.
You know, I had the under on the Bills game for the Rams game. I did a $10 free bet and, maybe a couple different picks, maybe of no Allen Robinson. That was a $9,000 return on a $10 free bet. So, things like that where I'm knocking the five out of 7 out of the yard, taking the under on that Rams game.
And you only got one wrong, so what does that say?
There you go,
6
right?
props.
You look at a lot of these other sports places, they're awesome, they're cool, and we're just looking to get our knowledge out there. But I think we're going to be right a lot of the times. You guys are going to get a lot of right picks.
Yeah, we want to help you guys make some money and have some fun as well. So let's get her started, eh?
Awesome.
We're speaking of the Thursday night. We're going to give a little reaction to what we thought. Just a couple of notes.
What do you think on that Thursday night game?
Well, that was a hell of a game. That was really exciting to watch.
That was a fun game, man. I mean, sometimes you have these games that just fall flat on their face. That was a good game. I enjoyed every minute of that game.
Yeah,
Sacks, you got INTs flying around, you got yards coming along.
Yeah.
Stars performed.
Josh Allen was like 17 for 17 to start the game or something ridiculous like that. Like he's going to be unreal this year. He'll probably finish as the QB1 in fantasy. But
living up to his price tag.
Yeah, he was drafted really high, and that's the risk you take on a player like that. But the risk reward is the ceiling is huge on.
Yeah, man. I mean, props to you guys that drafted Allen early. For you guys who've already done your drafts, we'll get a little bit more about that in a second. But Allen really showing what he's worth there. Anyone who had Allen on their fantasy team, you guys are probably laughing at people calling you out for drafting a quarterback too early because you probably put about 30, 40 points in those standard leagues.
Yeah, and if you own any of his weapons, the Stephon Diggs, the Gabriel Davises, the Isaiah McKenzies, you're probably winning your matchup right now because he's killing it.
Davis is a huge cookie cutter pick for a lot of these sports analysts, these sports scholars type people out there. So, his IDP actually crept up to where he probably needed to perform the way that he did that night. Yeah, he was going 5th round, 4th round in some of these drafts. So he was creeping up pretty high. Yeah, exactly. That's Sousa.
Jordan, let's go.
Yeah, there you
Just
go,
watching
Jordan.
the stream. Let's go.
Alan
Our first
is,
viewer.
Alan's nuts, man. Like,
All in a good time. Alan, a good time. That's just But yeah,
but that's exactly.
Davis is going to have plenty of boom and bust games, just like Mike Evans. Very TD dependent because Stephon Diggs is going to demand a lot of the targets.
Yeah.
For like the running backs, yikes. If you drafted Singletary, like he's typical Singletary. He screwed us on so many bets last year, so many fantasy points, man. He is.
This guy's got the Singletary curse of all time.
I do not like Devin Singletary. He's the RB3 at most for that team, and you got Zach Moss, a little sprinkle in there. Who's the other guy they have on their team? The other running back, the one they just drafted this year.
Cook.
Oh, Cook. Yeah, he fumbled on like his first play of the game. Like he's gonna be hit hot and cold as well. I would recommend staying away from anybody in that backfield. Singletary gets dropped. Sure, you could take a flyer on him, but I don't think there's gonna be a lot of fantasy stock there.
I want to go on that game a little bit more too because there's so much talk about that game. Holy shit, Donald dominant as ever. I mean, this is a side note, less fantasy.
Aaron Donald's nuts.
God damn, he does not stop, man.
He needs to be triple teamed, and he still gets like 3 sacks.
Miller's still sacking people. This guy's getting in his late 30s. But Cooper Kupp.
What can you say?
What a draft pick.
Yeah.
Stafford. This is where it gets concerning.
Yeah,
you had injury concerns.
He's got that elbow injury.
Elbow injury. Kupp still getting his own. Stafford not getting his.
Yeah,
that's a weird place to be in when you're a quarterback. When you know that the valuable asset on your team is still performing, but nobody else surrounding is.
Yeah, I personally am an Allen Robinson owner in one of my leagues, and I am pretty concerned right now. I mean, there's all this hype that he's got a real quarterback now. OBJ got value as the second wide receiver on that team last year, but Allen Robinson, man, like.
What do you do now? Where do you go from here?
Yeah, he one reception for 12 yards.
Now he's not even being looked at.
Yeah.
So can he even throw to Allen Robinson now? Is he going to throw down Robinson? Van Jefferson's coming back. So yeah. I didn't like Robinson. He was picked on some of these other places as one of the guys. Was not for me. I will like to kind of also touch base on the fact that you touch base on Cam Akers.
Yeah, if you're a Cam Akers owner, I'd be worried. He's in the doghouse right now, the McVay doghouse, and just like the Shanahan doghouse, it's not a fun place, or Belichick doghouse, it's not a fun place as a running back to try and claw your way out of that. Plus, he had a major injury, and sure, he played in the playoffs last year. He wasn't very productive at all in the playoffs. No. That's a pretty serious injury he's overcoming, and the only saving grace that he has right now is that Darrell Henderson is also not very good. Like 47 yards
He looked good that game.
Yeah,
though.
He's injury prone as well. Ultimately, that's a rough backfield to monitor right now. But until further notice, I would have Akers on the bench.
Now, Akers for sure on the bench. I think for sure for that. Now, I do want to touch base on just kind of where things have led down with Akers. He gets injured. He comes back in the playoffs. He rushes his injury back. Achilles injury. You don't want to be rushing it back. He does dog shit in the playoffs. He did fuck all. I'm not gonna miss my words. And then he fumbled the ball. I had a prop actually on Akers getting 1 extra yard, and he fumbles the ball in the goal line. And great. They won the Super Bowl. Was not thanks to Akers. None of that Super Bowl. So. McVay's getting sick of this whole sob story where, he's injured, but you're not performing, and this is the NFL, buddy. So it's like, you either perform or you pack your shit, or you take some time off and you actually get truly healthy, because when you're on that field, you're expected to perform.
Yeah.
And he's not performing. Henderson's doing all the things right. We've seen some good things out of camp for him with his receiving. He's already been the third down back for receiving. He's catching balls. He's running hard. He's not injured.
He played the entire
game.
The entire first quarter in the week one. That's big.
He did big for them in the playoffs. He's gaining trust of his teammates. And when you're in the locker room and you're sitting there and you're injured and you're fumbling and you're being selfish by rushing yourself back and putting the team in a detriment position, that's not going to bode well for confidence from your team. I think McVay's is sick of it.
Absolutely.
So Akers stock way down.
So I would be starting Henderson next week in your fantasy leagues, and if he is on waivers, I think he's still unowned in like 30% of leagues. I would go and scoop him up. He shouldn't be on waivers.
If he's available, 100%. Yeah. Big potential here. Matt and I will get into this more tomorrow, but I was looking before the game yesterday, because I obviously ran some props. Henderson's receiving plus rushing yards was 40.
Ooh. That's a
40.
smash. That's a smash.
That's for both. We're gonna hear a lot of this from Maddie this season. We're gonna smash that.
Oh,
we're gonna smash that pick all day. I didn't take it because I was slightly a believer in Akers rebounding. Actually, I will say I was kind of thinking that he would come out and had to show his stuff.
And it's still just week one. We can't. It's an overreaction right now to say that he's a bust and all that stuff like that. But it's not a very positive sign right now.
I thought he needed that game.
3 rushes, 0 yards. He was clogged up. He had no burst. He's been called out by his coach for being a little bit lazy.
Terrible.
Just something to monitor, guys. And that's our reaction for the Thursday night. I'm so pumped though.
I want to see what that Dale Henderson receiving yards plus rushing yards next week's going to look like. I'm very interested. We've gotten ourselves in this scenario now with this running backs conundrum in the Rams, where terrible for fantasy, great for money making.
Absolutely.
If they overcompensate and they toss 100 or 70 yards receiving plus rushing on Henderson next week, and all of a sudden Akers is back in the mix, that's an easy smash under.
Yeah,
if they overcompensate for Akers coming back and being involved, and Henderson's still sitting at 40 yards for both, that's a smash over. So these
that's
are
good
the
advice.
Cool scenarios that we've gotten ourselves into in week one when it comes to props. Allen's looking like a lot of people said his pass attempts would have been over. He didn't pass much, but he's very efficient. Still got his yardage, though. Yeah. Allen's looking like he's going to get his yardage one way or another this season.
And his rushing potential. You could tell at that game that he was holding back a little bit because it's only week one. He doesn't want to destroy his body in week one.
Did he get 30 rushing yards?
He did.
Then he smashed that over.
Yep.
That's really cool. Anything else on the Thursday night that you want to talk about? There's so much to happen.
No, I think we covered most of the important fantasy aspects.
Just a little props
too. We're going to jump into some last-second drafting for people that are not didn't draft until the last minute and the game start tomorrow. We're just going to give you a quick little ADP favorites, guys we like at their ADP and guys we don't like, and
Yeah, I'm going to do 3 guys I like, 3 guys I hate at their ADP. We already did this before, and it didn't work out because Devon didn't save. So this is number 1 guy for me. I drafted him in my league. We have yet to see if this is
I have shares of Jalen Hurts, too.
Jalen Hurts. I went after Jalen Hurts. I liked where he was going. You had to pay up for Josh Allen. You're getting rewarded for paying up for Josh Allen, but you had to go and get him. Jalen Hurts kind of landed right after the Mahomes kind of phase.
He's in the same tier as the Kyler Murrays and
like
stuff
a
like that.
5th and 6th round. Yeah. Everything's up for Jalen Hurts. We're talking offensive line, one of the best in the league, top 3 offensive line in the league. The guy's not the best thrower. There
has been reports that he's really worked on his accuracy this offseason. Now that's preseason. There's still to tell, but
you're right.
He's got AJ Brown now. He's got Smith. He's got Goddard. He's got all the weapons. He reminds me a lot of Atua Tagovailoa. I don't even know how to pronounce his name properly, but yeah.
We're gonna call him Tuca.
These guys are put on the same pressure stage this year because they have all the weapons and they have no excuse now. They have the team to do it, and they have to prove if they are elite quarterbacks or not.
Hurts is going to get his rushing, guys.
Oh, 100%.
So he's going to get his rushing, and the offensive line's a big one for me. Adding A.J. Brown, it only goes up from last year, and last year he was top 5. So I really like Hurts where he's being drafted.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Another one for me, this guy's a personal favorite of mine. I really like Darnell Mooney. the Bears' offense has to get yards somehow. Mooney's seen flashes of success. He's going to be lined up with the top cornerback a lot of these games. Justin Fields doesn't have an offensive line. This is a bit of a risky pick by me.
Very risky.
But this guy is going later rounds. We're talking 8th round. This is a guy who is a bona fide number 1 on his team. Usually that's good for 1,000 yards, 5-6 touchdowns. If you can get 1,000 yards, 6-7 touchdowns, you're laughing at that ADP. You see guys like DJ Moore going in the 4th, 5th round. These are guys that are tied to. These are guys that are tied to Baker Mayfield. These are guys that are tied to bad situations. And then you see a guy like Darnell Mooney going rounds and rounds later. I really like him. And then another guy that I like, and this is a super, super risky one, Metcalf.
Oh, we love DK.
This is a bet on talent pick by me.
Solely on talent, because the quarterback situation is disgusting.
Quarterback situation's awful. You're probably going to see some weeks where Lockett blows up, and then Metcalf blows up, and then Metcalf does nothing, and then Lockett does nothing. I'm still seeing for the numbers that he's getting. He might crack 1,000 yards easily.
The guy's a monster. He's going to get the ball. He's a 1,000-yard season,
Plus, a lot of things that people didn't realize is that I have Russ on one of my keeper teams. I watch a lot of Russ football.
We love Russ cooking.
Love when Russ is cooking, but when Russ is bad, he is bad. And there's there was a point in time. It's like watching Ben Roethlisberger when he's off. You guys throwing for 2 yards a pass. There's nothing that's helping your wide receivers with those sort of throws. And the last guy, everyone's already touched on this by now. We really like Dameon Pierce. He blew up in the preseason. His ADP is climbing a little too high for my liking, though.
Yeah, all the overreaction with Marlon Mack being cut, so now it's just Pierce and Sexy Rexy back there.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that one. I think he's being overhyped right now. Houston, yeah, they're going to be one of the worst teams in the league, and sure, he's the RB1 on that team, but horrible offensive line. They're going to be playing some great defenses in that division twice, like Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I like Pierce. I wouldn't take him where he's being taken. I think he's getting taken way too high.
He was being taken the 11th round when I initially thought of that. He's being taken like the 5th, 6th round now.
Yeah.
So, 3 guys I hate at their ADP.
How about I do my 3?
Yeah, you do 3 you were like.
So quickly, 3 guys that I really like at their ADP. Cortland Sutton, I think he's going to be a beast this year with Russ. He's basically Russ's DK Metcalf this year.
Put it on paper.
Yeah. Yeah. While Judy is like his Lockett.
Oh,
we got the volume going there, the intro music, right on. I think Sutton's going to have a big year. And I think Russ is going to cook with Sutton, even though they're a heavy run team with Javonte and Melvin Gordon.
Do you think Russ is going to do better than he did in Seattle? Because Seattle's offensive line was shit. So, do you think that Denver's really going to rejuvenate his skill or his talent, his ceiling cap with Russ? I'm running him as my number 1.
Yeah, it's hard to say. He's got way more talent now around him, and
he's got Devontae. He's got
I honestly don't know what to expect from Russ this year. He's either going to be cooking in the kitchen or he's working with Chef Ramsay. I don't know, man. Cooking in Hell's Kitchen. That's where he's comfortable. I don't know. Let Russ cook, baby.
So we got Sutton. I like that one.
Yeah,
that's a semi cookie cutter for me.
Yeah. I really like Kyler Murray this year.
Really?
Yeah. Where he's being taken around where it hurts as well.
You're not wrong. Talent's there.
The talent is there. He's got Marquise Brown. Hopkins is back in 7 weeks. Offensive line got better. He's got Zach Ertz for a full year now. James Conner is the number 1 guy. Murray's had some rough couple of years, especially in the playoffs. I think he's learned and he's grown from that. And I wouldn't get it past me to see him finish top 5 quarterback this year with his rushing
top 5.
Top 5, yeah.
Ooh, I don't know if I agree on that one, but the word is out. Matthew Danes, Kyle Murray. What's another one here that we got going?
I think that's it for me.
Just 2?
Yeah, just 2.
I know one other that you had. Matt was big on this guy. He has him on his team. And I don't want him to lose out on the credits of being right on this guy. Everyone knows this guy's going to do well. He's being drafted well. He's big on Mike Williams.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a huge Mike Williams fan. Keenan Allen, I love that guy. You know, he cares about our fantasy teams. He's come out and said, don't start me because I'm on your fantasy teams because I'm not going to be playing. And he started like 2 snaps, and then he screwed everybody in the playoffs who own him. So I love Keenan Allen for that. But yeah, you're right. Mike Williams, I love him at his ADP right now. He's getting drafted around a pick or 2 before where Cortland Sutton is. So if you miss out on Sutton, Mike Williams is big. He's very injury prone, sure, but his ceiling is so high that like he's gonna blow up with Herbert this year. I think
he can do well.
Thank you for pointing that out, buddy.
No worries. What do you got? Dallas Cowboys stuff going on here, man. Looking good.
Yeah, my girlfriend Jordan, love of my life. She got me this awesome Hawaiian Dallas Cowboys shirt.
Oh, man, he's on camera with that too. He's stuck now.
Yeah,
here you go.
I feel for the Cowboys this year. This is going to be a rough one for us, boys. Awesome. So, guys you hate at their ADP, let's just run through these guys quick.
Yeah. So, I dislike, and I see article after article after article on this guy being a blow-up superstar. This guy's going to be huge. Everyone wants this guy. Go out and get him. I don't like St. Brown on Detroit Lions. I'm just going to come out and say it.
I liked him. I watched Hard Knocks, but
Hard Knocks is awesome.
Yeah, I am 100% agrees with you. I think he's being way overhyped, just like Dameon Pierce. The guy literally last year was top 3 or 4 wide receivers the last 7 weeks of the season, mainly because everybody was injured. Swift was out. Hawkinson was out. Jamal Williams was out.
I don't even think they had another player on their team that was a starter at the beginning of the year.
No. Goff had to throw it to somebody.
Yeah, you have...
And a weak schedule at the end of the season.
8 weeks, 400 yards, 0 touchdowns.
Yeah. So St. Brown is coming out and saying preseason that he's mad about his Madden rating and that he's telling his fantasy owners to draft him because he's going to have one of the best fantasy seasons of all time for a wide receiver. I'm like, okay, man, you play for the Lions. Yeah, they're going to be better this year, but you have Jared Goff as your quarterback. Like, be realistic here.
Jared Goff, Swift's going to eat.
Oh, Swift's going to eat. I have him in one of my leagues.
Yeah, and Jordan, if you have any questions, feel free to type. Like, this is an open typing scenario, guys. You guys can chat with us. Leave your comments. You can comment in the chat and just ask whatever questions that you guys want. This is just a nice, easy way to kind of ask us questions.
Yeah, good point, man. We're very family-oriented, tight group here, and we just want everybody to communicate with us and make everyone feel like they're part of a group, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So nice community. Brown's going around where Metcalf's going in some leagues.
Yeah.
Which is nuts. Pat Mahomes going in the 3rd round. This is a guy that's going...
I love Patty Mahomes.
This guy that's going a couple picks after Allen.
Yeah.
What? Everything about Pat Mahomes' scenario has just gotten worse.
He's dropped to the 5th or 6th round in my draft, in one of my last drafts.
He's starting to drop there.
Yeah.
He's starting to drop.
Which I don't know why, because he's still Patrick Mahomes. He's still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And yes, he lost Tyreek Hill, but he still has Kelsey. I know he's aged, but he has Kelsey. Juju apparently is healthy now. We don't know how long that's going to last for because he's got that knee problem.
Yeah.
But he's got Juju. He's got Sky Moore.
Sky Moore, yeah. It's just, he came out and already started talking shit about fantasies, or he's saying, hey, you're not going to be able to predict which wide receiver is going to boom for the week. Dude, let me tell you something. There's never a scenario where a quarterback is, going to do one wide receiver is going to boom each week. You're not going to know who it is, and it's going to throw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns every game. What do we see here, Jordan? Made an error in your draft. You only have 2 RBs on your teams, Jacobs and Harris, and would have been too tight end heavy. Anyone on the waiver I should be looking to scoop up. Najee Harris is pretty good. You probably use a pretty high on him. Jacobs is super shaky. I think that's one that Matt actually dislikes. Went too tight end heavy. Elaborate on tight end heavy. Who's your 2 tight ends?
Oh, she drafted more than 2 tight ends.
Is this in which league is this?
This is one of our spot leagues. So let's just take a look. Alan, a day's work. Thanks you for the comment. So this is what...
Okay. So I think so. We're lucky with this one because we got all the information on handy. For anyone else who wants to do this, we're going to need a little bit more information. So I'm taking a look here. We got Pitts. You probably went third round with Pitts. And Jacobs, we got Coney, and then you got Robert Woods. Do you mind going up a little bit?
Josh Allen, Devontae Adams.
Juju. What's the waiver in terms of the waiver wire? It really depends on who's available. Now, if you're looking for, Matt did a good mention of Darrell Henderson. I'm looking at this league here for you.
There isn't a whole lot there.
You
could take a risk on maybe a Jeff Wilson because Eli Mitchell's very injury prone and he's the next guy up on a very run heavy offense.
Jeff Wilson.
Benjamin. James
Conner goes down. I think Eno Benjamin is very capable backup.
Yeah.
If you can go out and if you can try and swing a way to use a Robert Woods who you have on your team, who I'm not a huge believer in, and go out and get a Ramondre Stevenson, some guy who hasn't really reached his potential yet, but has that potential that I think if Harris gets traded, Ramondre Stevenson, some guy that I personally have tried to go down and get Ramondre Stevenson on a lot of my teams.
Yeah, I have Ramondre in several leagues.
Keeper leagues for sure.
I love him. He's a beast, even though he plays for the Patriots, who I hate.
Yeah.
I think that Damian Harris is a good handcuff, but he's one injury down from Ramondre being a top 6 running back if he goes down as a bell cow. No James White, he's gone. Stevenson is now the main pass catcher on that team.
Pass catches, he blocks well, he's a coach's dream.
Yeah.
He runs hard, he breaks tackles. That guy's a Devontae Williams scenario. People just don't know it yet.
Yeah, those are good recommendations.
People just don't know it yet. So that's what I would kind of recommend.
All right, let's get back to
and then third guy I dislike, and this guy's obviously dropped quite a bit, but J.K. Dobbins is being drafted in the second round. He was being drafted in the third, fourth round. This is a guy that Lamar. You're very welcome, Jordan. Lamar's got to get his right. You got Andrews. There's only 100 yards on a football field, guys. And if Lamar Jackson's running that ball in 20 yards in with the Ravens, you're looking at that's Mark Andrews touchdown area. That's Lamar Jackson running it in zone. You might see Dobbins with a lot of 50 yards, 1 touchdown games. And for where he's being drafted, I don't like it. Kind of that RB dead zone that a lot of people have been talking about.
Yeah,
that's kind of where it's at. Anyways, that's mine for 3 guys I hate. Matt, you want to do your 3 you hate real quick?
Yeah, real quick. I love this guy. I did take a risk on him in one of my leagues, hoping that he is this year's Jonathan Taylor. Javonte Williams. I got him in round 3 in one of my leagues, and he's a beast. The guy is a beast. And you saw when he had limited chances as the RB1 last year without Melvin Gordon, he balled out like against the Chiefs and stuff like that. He single-handedly won leagues.
Yeah, he was good.
The thing that scares me though is that I'm already reading reports that they're still in love with Melvin Gordon and that he's going to be heavily involved in a lot of critical moments in the game, like under 2-minute drill, goal lines, stuff like that, and you don't want to hear that, especially for a guy you're drafting in the 3rd round, expecting to be, your bell cow RB1. When you could wait and get Melvin Gordon in the
we're such selfish humans, eh? We're just like, I don't want this guy to make cake.
Yeah,
fuck this guy. I want fantasy to be exciting. I don't want Melvin Gordon to run the ball. This guy's got tons left in the tank, but nobody wants Melvin Gordon on that team with Javonte Williams. I'll tell you that much.
And Gordon's even come out and said, "This is Javonte's team. So, dude, why don't you just move aside then? Jeez, seriously, already." My God, I love your dreads, but I hate you. Get out of here. Let Javonte ball out. So that situation scares me. Yeah, exactly. My second pick quickly is David Montgomery. I've had Montgomery over the years, and
great pick for a drop of 80.
He was drafted in the 3rd round, late 2nd round, in multiple of my leagues. I love David Montgomery. He's an RB1. He's a great pass catcher, great blocker, but suspect offensive line. You got Justin Fields now full time, who's a running quarterback. You have Khalil Herbert, who skill level chomping at the bit. Usually when I go to draft running backs, I look at who their competition is, and if their competition is like similar, value, talent,
just waiting right in behind.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared that one injury and David Montgomery's riding the pines. So that's a risky pick.
And that's the thing, when the teams invest money and stuff into these players, there's no reason to rush them back. And there's also you start seeing scenarios where they start saving thread on the tires. They don't want to rush them 200 times a game because they got a capable backup that they can take 7 plays off the game, 10 carries off a game. I don't like those scenarios, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
And
my last pick, and I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but Travis Etienne Jr.
Whoa, I don't like that one.
James Robinson, he is back.
I don't like this one.
The guy was rookie of the year.
Oh.
Came back, suffered a major injury, is coming back. He's got something to prove. He's in basically a contract year. Travis Etienne, he's a beast. Yes, he's got rapport with Lawrence. They killed it. They balled out at Clemson. Etienne, first game, of the year. He missed all last year, so he's come back from severe injury too. So you got 2 guys come back from severe injuries. James Robinson's going to eat into the load, and we know Jacksonville's not going to be a very good team to begin with. Lawrence, Safi's huffing and puffing over there. He's like, oh boy. Anyways, that's my last pick. I'd love to hear your opinion.
I love Etienne, man. This is a guy that people were just so excited about. Lisfranc injury, very unfortunate injury. Come back full strength. That offense got to get better. I mean, Urban Meyer was just a jackass, and Doug Peterson's a professional. So I'm hoping that the Jacksonville Jaguars move forward. If anything's going to blow up in that offense, it's going to start with 2 players, and that's going to be Etienne Lawrence. And also keep in mind that a lot of people are thinking that Lawrence is going to do better this year.
Yeah, I think he's going to take a step up.
Lawrence played with Etienne in college, so that's a combo that if that ends up blowing up, you're talking big return money on a Lawrence Etienne combo in a keeper league, even in a redraft league, if you can get those guys super cheap. But you're right, though, he is being drafted quite high.
Yeah.
All right.
So those are our late drafters ADP list. Hopefully we can help some last-second drafters out with these picks. Good luck to everybody. And our last segment we're going to be going into briefly is a quick preview of all the games tomorrow and just fantasy players that we'd like to start, and if there's guys on the waiver wire that we like for these games, and we're just going to name a couple, just breeze through these. Tomorrow we're going to come out with our prop show. It's going to be pretty quick, but we're going to have all of our props that we like for multiple betting accounts.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a lot of fun, guys. I'm so excited for this year. So let's get her going. So first game is the Eagles and Lions. Are you starting Miles Sanders, especially with Gainwell and Boston Scott in that committee as well? That's a big question. I'm sure a lot of people, Miles Sanders owners, would like to know. Plus, he's already injured already.
No, someone's probably got him on the team somewhere, right?
Are you starting with confidence though?
I think you got to keep him. You got to keep him in there against the Detroit Lions. Lions don't have a great D line, and Philadelphia has a great O line. Their opportunity for him breaking out a big one is pretty high. Not a lot of people love him. That's a question people have. You want to get Miles Sanders in your lineup. Probably for this week, first start of the season. Get him in there. That's my take on it. We'll go from that.
Nice. I would monitor Boston Scott because every report I've been reading, Philly is like head over heels for this guy. For some reason, they just love Boston Scott. They don't want to get rid of him. They could have cut him this year. They didn't. They say they want to use him for multiple situations. That's just something to monitor. On the line side, are you starting DJ Chark?
Fuck, no. DJ Chark, this guy has lost all confidence for me. I don't care if he blows up for 4 touchdowns tomorrow. That's not someone that I'm hanging my hat on.
Yeah,
I am keeping away from DJ Chark.
I think Swift is I agree with you. I think Swift is a PPR monster. Amon St. Brown's going to get his, and Hawkinson's going to get his.
Yeah.
So
you guys might see St. Brown tomorrow. That's all fine and dandy. I just think when everything pans out, Jameson Williams gets in that lineup and all things start to come together, it's not going to be 11 targets a game for St. Brown. All right, so we're thinking a game for you tomorrow, Danes. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati.
Oh, I love my Bengals.
This is always exciting.
Oh,
this is going to be a good game. You guys are going to have your eyes glued to the screen.
The post-Roethlisberger Big Ben era is gone.
Yeah.
It's the Trubisky show to start. Ouch. Yikes. That's going to be rough.
Trubisky show to start. That's a good question. Do you think Trubisky over under 3 games, does he get replaced by Kenny Pickett?
I think he lasts 3 games. I think he lasts 6 games. I think he's got one last thing left in the tank to prove before he's going to the CFL next year.
Nice.
As in regards to starters, who I'm starting, I'd be scared to start Deontay Johnson right now. He was drafted really high, and he's supposed to be the wide receiver 1 on that team. But I need to see a couple games first because Ben was in love with him because Ben couldn't throw more than 20 yards, so it was perfect for Deontay for the PPR.
True.
But now that Pickens is there and Claypool and Freiermuth, all those guys got to eat. Najee's got to eat. Like, Deontay Johnson, start him if you have to, but like that's a scary start right there.
Yeah, and this is good for DFS players out there, guys. I know in fantasy teams, a lot of these players are already in lineups. You're not going on the waiver wire picking up your Miles Sanders. You're not going on the waiver wire picking up your Deontay Johnson. But for DFS players, you're probably going to be making some of those lineups. That's a good point.
That's a good point, man. Question: are you starting Jamar Chase, Higgins, and Tyler Boyd?
This is always something that when you watch Bengals games last year, your Chase somehow, some way got his yardage. In weird ways, almost, if you guys watch the games. I mean, this is someone who, he would get a 70-yard bomb and make up the stats. He would get a 50-yard bomb randomly out of the blue. He'd be getting kept in check and then blow up. You've got to... I think you've got to start Chase, obviously. I think he's going to do all right. I'm actually liking the idea of Higgins for this first week, though.
Yeah,
I
something
think,
about Higgins.
I think Watt's a little bit banged up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Steelers secondary
not a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Everyone's expecting Chase to do something. It's going to be a lot of pressure. Minka's still there.
Yeah.
Minka's there. Minka's amazing. And they're going to be doing some cover shadowing over-unders with Minka roaming on Chase. And Minka's a very, very capable safety.
100%.
And Chase is a big time waiting to happen. I think Higgins is probably going to get peppered a little bit more. I'd probably take the Higgins.
Yeah, I agree with you. Quickly, 49ers, Bears. You starting everybody in that game?
I mean, you got to start Trey Lance. This is the opportunity for excitement is sky high.
Lance time, baby!
Justin Fields is just going to get absolutely demolished.
Are you starting Cole Kmet in your lineups?
No.
Nope. You're starting tight end? Okay.
I'm not doing Cole Kmet. I think Fields is going to get eaten alive this game.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be rough. Bosa's going to eat it. Yeah.
This San Francisco defense is a stout defense, man.
Yeah, they're free.
And Fields, while be it looking all right in the preseason, that line is shaky.
Yeah.
And you're combining a shaky line with a team that went all the way so deep in the playoffs, pretty much almost made it there straight to the finals if it wasn't for the Garoppolo situation. Yeah. I like Lance. I think Lance is going to get a couple of TDs. I think you're looking at probably 21 to to 14 game there. I don't think it's going to be a huge blowout.
Yeah.
But I think I'm staying away from the Chicago offense first game against San Francisco.
Yeah, that's good advice. I really like that a lot.
This is a really interesting one, Matt. I want to get your advice on this.
Absolutely, bro.
New Orleans, Atlanta.
Oof.
Wow.
Oof.
How many headlines do we have for this game?
Post Sean Payton. It's gonna be interesting to see, man.
We got Mariota. You got Michael Thomas back.
Yeah.
Do you start Michael Thomas?
So I would start Michael Thomas with confidence, mainly because he is the go-to guy. I think Winston is going to try really hard to gravitate towards him because he knows he's the veteran. So, Olave, Jarvis Landry, those guys are suspect to start in your lineups for fantasy. I would personally bench them for a week or two just to see what happens there because, Winston did make Mike Evans and Chris Godwin both valuable receivers when he was with Tampa, right? When he had that big 4,000-yard season. He does throw a lot, yeah. And last year he did gravitate towards one wide receiver. I don't forget who it was. It wasn't Callaway. It was more like Traquan Smith or something like that. So, yeah, the only person on the Saints that I'm starting is Kamara and Thomas. If you have to start Winston, good luck. I pray for you.
And Mariota.
And on the Falcons side, Mariota. Kyle Pitts. Maybe Cordarrelle Patterson. Other than that, I'm not starting Drake London in his first game. That's risky because he's going to be up against Lattimore probably.
Yeah.
Or no, Pitts will get Lattimore 100%.
No, I don't think they can.
Oh.
Pitts is a mismatch. You can't put these guys on him. You're going to have to run Lattimore into the center of the field.
Yeah, that's true.
So Drake London's too tall out there. Starting these guys for DFS, you have to look at their numbers.
Yep.
Definitely, Michael Thomas might get his. Olave could be sneaky with Winston because Winston does tend to throw for 4,000 yards.
Yeah.
Love me my Pitts. Obviously, not huge sold on Mariota yet though.
Yeah.
Patriots don't like Cordarrelle Patterson. That's for me.
Yeah, I know. He was a 1-year wonder in my opinion.
I think he's gonna be
Patriots Dolphins. Waddle. He's a game time decision, so he's already playing kind of injured. So I'd be firing up Tyreek Hill. On the Dolphins side, running backs, yikes. Chase Edmonds, he fits into that system. The McDaniels really likes him. And so I would start Chase Edmonds. Mostert, he's a desperate pick, in my opinion, for DFS and flex and stuff like that.
And I'm going to disagree with you there.
Yeah.
I like Mostert.
Yeah.
He's
the fastest player, one of the fastest players in the league.
He was fast as
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
This guy's injury is hell.
Yeah.
Had some flashes in preseason. Yeah.
Sorry, we're just gonna skim right through this.
No worries.
So you're starting Stevenson, Damian Harris. It sucks if you have both. You have to decide.
Stevenson. I'm not starting any of the Patriots
wide receivers or Hunter Henry.
No.
Okay.
No Hunter Henry.
Browns, Panthers. Obviously, you're starting your Chubb, your Kareem Hunt. Now, Amari Cooper. That one scares me. Now, I think you feel differently.
I like him.
I love him, Amari. I love me my Dallas boy, but now that Watson's out till week 11, I'm not starting Cooper until week 11 because Brissett doesn't have a history of gravitating towards the number one wide receiver. He loves his tight end, so I think Njoku could have a big first 10 weeks or whatever like that.
Yeah.
And he's a running quarterback as well, and whatever.
Washington, Jacksonville.
Washington and Jacksonville.
What do you think about Carson Wentz?
Ooh. Pray. That's all I gotta say. Pray.
Wentz McLaughlin. Is McLaughlin gonna get his?
McLaurin?
McLaurin.
If you draft McLaurin, yikes. I pray for you. They got Curtis Samuel. They got Jahan there. Jahan Dotson. He's unreal. What's the skill level difference between him, talent level between him and McLaurin? I don't think there's that much. And
really?
I don't know.
Oh.
From what I've seen from Dotson, he's amazing. McLaurin's amazing, but
Wentz is a nightmare.
Poor R.I.P. to Brian Robinson. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Like that guy was going to be the starter, and then he gets shot up, and I feel so bad for him.
I really liked Brian Robinson.
Yeah.
Before that,
good old Bama boy, and I hope he comes back strong. And we're wishing a happy recovery on him. But right now, it's an Antonio Gibson show, and McKissick's there, and now they're bringing up Patterson. It just sounds like it just sounds like a cluster, man. And they got Gibson on kickoff returns now. You don't put your number one running back as a kickoff returner. That's just a recipe for, I know he's fast and he's good and stuff like that.
That's just a doghouse scenario. Here's a soundbite for you guys. I'm going to go with the upset Jacksonville over Washington tomorrow.
I don't know that's an upset because
Washington just bought. They just bought.
Chase Young is out. I don't think that's an upset.
You don't think so?
No.
I wonder what's the over? What's the sports back say?
One upset that I could see
it's Washington. -3 for Washington.
Right on. Okay.
So right now, 74% of the money at -155 is on Washington.
Woo. Yeah.
74% of the money.
I'd be smashing the Jaguars all day.
Jaguars at 1 point plus 125.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Colts Texans. You starting everybody?
I am staying away from the Colts wide receivers minus Pittman.
Oh, so Paris Campbell.
None of them.
Staying away from him. Okay.
None of them. Pittman. That's it.
Yep.
Matt Ryan wasn't sold.
Texans side, I think that game's going to be closer than people think. I think the sports books right now have the Colts blowing them out.
Miles
is good. It's a divisional game.
Good, man.
Texans, are you starting Nico Collins or anybody like that, or just Brandon Cooks with confidence?
I am starting Brandon Cooks with confidence.
Nobody else?
And nobody else.
Okay. Nico Collins, keep a look.
He's going to get probably 60 yards.
Yep.
I don't think he's going to go farther. I don't think he's going to bust out 100-yard game on the Colts.
No.
Actually, is Leonard? Yeah, Leonard's healthy. Yeah.
Ravens, Jets. This one could be a blowout. Lamar's going to run all over the Jets. I already know. He's mad.
Yeah.
He's mad. He doesn't have a contract. It's going to be bad.
Yeah, that one you can lock in Mark Andrews. You lock in Rashad Bateman. You lock in Lamar Jackson.
Now, here's a question for you. Are you starting any of the scrub running backs that they have? Mike Davis...
Dobbins
is out.
Dobbins out.
And
no running backs.
Oh, that's big. That's big. That's a big one. Jets, are you starting anybody on that side? Are you starting your Breece Hall, Michael Carter?
I do have
Joe Flacco at quarterback.
I have to start Breece Hall on one of my teams just because he ended up on my team.
Yeah.
Not by choice. Now, it's not going to be looking good, guys. I think if you're looking at anyone on the Jets, Elijah Moore.
Yeah, Elijah Moore. He'd be the only guy.
If he gets tied with Humphrey, good night.
Yeah, exactly. Packers, Vikings, this one's going to be an exciting game. I really want to watch this game.
What's going on with this?
Lots of talent. The big storyline is Allen Lazard is expected not to play this game. So
you start Watson or Dobbs?
I'm starting... You got the veteran Sammy Watkins and Randall Cobb there. I think we know Rodgers' history. He likes to gravitate towards proven players. He's probably going to throw to the veterans all day. I could see a lot more A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones getting little dump passes all game. 100%. Without Lazard there?
A.J. Dillon all the way for that one there.
Yeah, I'm benching Dubes. I know he's a huge highlight, but I'm benching him first week.
I maybe if you had to, obviously 12-team standard leagues, you're not putting in a Dubes over someone. Yeah. You're talking 16 teams, maybe 3 wide receiver sets.
Yeah, that's a good opinion. Are you starting? Dillon's a beast. I love that guy.
DFS.
Wish I could have his calves.
That guy, if that guy's going under Aaron Jones.
Yeah. Are you starting Thielen and Jefferson if you had the option, or?
I'm staying away from Thielen. Great guy, I love him. He's had his time. This is Jefferson's ball. This is Jefferson's day, and it's going to be Jefferson's day for a long time. Run with Cook as well. Yeah. Obviously, guys.
I think Irv Smith could be a dark horse on that offense as well.
Irv Smith can be a dark horse. So can KJ Osborne. I think Thielen's going to be more of taking routes away. He's going into his older kind of days where he's going to be running some really good slot routes, but he's not going to be overpowering anyone.
Giants, Titans, don't want to waste too much time on this. A couple scrub teams. Giants, I'd be starting Barkley. No wide receivers right now. Titans, I'd be starting Derrick Henry. I wouldn't be starting Treylon Burks. Maybe Robert Woods as a safety blanket. That's about it.
I like Treylon Burks. I wouldn't. Obviously, you can't start him, like I said, 12-team standards. I like Treylon Burks. I think he's going to do really well in the NFL. And I could see him taking A.J. Brown's role.
Yeah. Raiders Chargers. This one's going to be a hell of a game. It's going to go Raiders, baby.
You blast the Chargers everywhere. You got Mike Williams. You got Keenan Allen. You got Justin Herbert. You got Austin Eckler. This is going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, 100%. You got Devontae Adams. You got all the boys on Spotlight. This is going to be a huge game.
This is going to be a fun one, guys.
Chiefs Cardinals, same thing. Like, they have all the best games in the late afternoon. Chiefs Cardinals, this one should be a shootout as well. I think Marquise Brown has a lot to prove. He has that connection with Kyler already. Yeah. Chiefs Mahomes going to ball out with somebody on that team, probably Kelsey. Because Cardinals were number 1 last year against tight ends. I remember reading that. If they have kept, yeah. So you still start Kelsey.
And then we'll do the nightcap, and then we're actually going to save the Monday for tomorrow.
Yeah, and our prop picks for tomorrow.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Sunday, 8:20 game. It's the last one that we're going to touch on just real quickly.
So Tom Brady's never lost to the Cowboys, so Cowboys are going to beat him this time.
Oh,
Just kidding. Bucks. Oh, I love my Cowboys, but...
I think Bucks take it.
Yeah, I think Bucks take it too. You start everybody. Do you start Zeke and Pollard? Do you start Pollard?
No. Ooh. Actually, I start...
That's risky, eh?
No, I don't. I don't start Pollard. Not against the Bucks.
Yeah.
Too organized of a unit. Zeke... Fuck, man. Zeke's... I don't like Zeke. Whatever his DFS is, it's not good enough. I haven't seen enough of him. You're starting Lamb. You're rocketing Lamb. You are starting Dalton Schultz. You are going to get, 60 yards out of Dalton Schultz, right? You are starting Mike Evans.
Yeah.
And you are for sure starting your Lenny Fournette.
You starting Julio Jones?
Yes.
Ooh,
you're definitely starting.
I love me some old man Julio.
That is a guy that is going to surpass expectations this year.
Yeah.
That's a guy that Tom Brady is 45. He doesn't give a shit about Julio Jones' age. Julio Jones is going to look good with Tom Brady, guys. I am calling that right now.
Nice. Are you starting Cameron Brate with Gronk on?
No.
As a tight end flex? No?
No.
Okay, cool. And we'll breeze through the Monday nighter. Broncos, Seahawks. Who are you liking in that one?
Who? I'm liking Jared Judy. Hopefully this guy can show some of his college rebound.
Yep.
We're going to do with Russell Wilson. I'm loving Javonte Williams there. And I think it's going to be a Metcalf game.
I think so too. Because he's up against Kenneth Darby or something like that.
Yeah.
And not a good matchup.
Just going to get away from me, boy. Push him right off.
I'll be watching that game with intrigue because there's a lot of question marks that I want answered. And I think we're going to see some clarity in that Broncos backfield. Seahawks backfield. I start Rashard Penny because he was a beast towards the end of last year.
Very good point, yeah.
Kenneth Walker is out for the first couple weeks.
Yes, Penny, yes.
He's going to have a hard time against this defense, but you have to... I'd start him over Cam Akers, 100%.
Yeah.
Seahawks wide receivers, pray. That's all I got to say. You start Metcalf. I like that pick. Lockett, yikes. Geno Smith is the quarterback. He's got to throw it to somebody. They're going to be a very run-heavy team. This might be a low-scoring game, I think, or a vengeance game for Russ. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, low-scoring game, probably right. Russ got a lot to prove. That's going to be wrapping up for our first episode, guys. Jordan, thanks for tuning in.
Much appreciated.
You guys got some good insights to what we're thinking. And I really appreciate you guys dropping by. Drop us a follow.
Really help us out, guys. We love you guys, and we're really excited for you guys to join us on this journey this season and multiple other sports as well. We're not just doing football, and football started, guys. Let's get excited. Let's get pumped. Prop bets come out tomorrow, and we're stoked, buddy. Let's go. Let's go.
Gonna be so much fun, guys. Super excited. Sports Scholars. You're gonna see the Twitter handle there. You got a YouTube handle. We're gonna be putting our videos down. We're going to continue growing this channel as much as it needs to be grown. But this is really just going to be a little cheat zone for those who want to watch.
This is going to be fun, guys. Hopefully we can make you guys some money and some entertainment. We'll make some fools out of ourselves sometimes. Yeah, it's going to happen, man. It's going to happen.
All right, guys. Thanks again. We're passing into an hour. We're going to sign off. We're going to do this. Remember of our game.